Welcome back. Now the morning buzz. President Biden is slammed for taking yet another weekend vacation in Delaware while Hawaii experienced devastating and deadly wildfires on Maui. Biden tried to save face by announcing a trip to the island. He actually appears to forget which island he's talking about, though. Watch.
Jill and I are going to travel to Hawaii as soon as we can. That's what I've been talking to the governor about. I don't want to get in the way. I've been to too many disaster areas, but I want to go make sure we got everything they need. I want to be sure we don't disrupt the ongoing recovery efforts.
Joining us right now on the panel for the rest of the show is co-anchor of the Big Money Show on Fox Business, Brian Brenberg, with us. Brian, great to see you.
Hey, good morning.
I want to get your thoughts on this in just a moment because, Joe, you wrote an op-ed about this, and you're calling this Joe Biden's Katrina moment. Tell us more.
All right, so this is for themessenger.com, and what we saw over the weekend was a president who for 4 days did not speak about Maui in any way, shape, or form. When reporters asked him not once, not twice, but thrice, what is the situation there? What is your message to the people of Maui? What resources are going and so on? He said no comment. Who says no comment in that situation? And he was at the beach for 4 days as well, 5,000 miles away. So now we hear from the president that, oh, well, Jill and I, Jill being the first lady, we plan on going there at some point. We've seen this movie before because he said he was going to East Palestine, Ohio, and that toxic derailment, and he never went. Here are the numbers. 106 dead, 1,300 people missing. This is the deadliest wildfire in modern history, deadliest fire, period. And here you have a president who spoke about it yesterday, couldn't remember the name of the island he was speaking of. His press secretary couldn't pronounce the names of 2 Democratic Hawaii senators during the press briefing. And now tomorrow, where's Joe Biden going? Is he going to Maui? No, he's going to Lake Tahoe for yet another week's vacation. This is his Katrina moment because he shows he's either apathetic, detached, or simply does not get the ramifications of what happened here, which is horrific.
Of course, it's horrific. He said that he and Jill are going to go at some. Look, I understand him saying we don't want to disrupt things in Maui because when a sitting president goes anywhere, there's a whole huge, line of cars that are following him and the Secret Service, and it could be disruptive. I get that. But how many disasters have we seen where the leader in charge goes and assesses the situation? So he can't always blame, I don't want to be disruptive.
And these fires started 9 days ago, all right? So at this point, even if he went to Honolulu and he was in the area, that attracts media attention. That gives more donations going that way. In general, just go to the area at least and then go from there.
Given his record of inactivity, he doesn't do anything. For once, I would like to see him be disruptive. I would like to see him get out in front and go do something and provide leadership, because he won't talk to the press. He won't go anywhere where there's real consequence, like the border. Go to Maui, help out, get in the way. The people there might be encouraged to see a leader who has a little bit of energy. The problem is, of course, is he's not capable of that, which is why it's the no comment presidency. America needs better than a no comment presidency.
And the minimum is a comment, like a running commentary, a daily update, some communication, as you say, to help raise funds, help draw attention. As Marie was saying, it's understandable you don't want to be disruptive on the ground. They're telling everybody to go home who's not, doesn't need to be there, but comment.
Well, and what about empathy and just the humanity of the whole thing? Remember George Bush at 9/11, flanked by firemen as smoke was coming up amid the ruins. I mean, even Bill Clinton, whom I hate to give credit for anything, but nonetheless, California mudslides, there he was, patting people on the back. I need you to be strong.
Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing you want to see are these pictures of Joe Biden and Jill Biden sitting, relaxing on the beach.
Ugh, terrible.
Well, and then he's going to Lake Tahoe next. I mean, it's not like I was at the beach, shoot, now I'm going to help. He's doubling down. I mean, how do you go from the beach to Lake Tahoe in the middle of the worst wildfire we've seen in 100 years? How do you do that?
And he already
who's
just had a
advising
10-day
him?
vacation. He already just had a 10-day vacation earlier this month. So it's not like he needs the vacation time at this point. And that's why so many Americans say that this president does not have the mental or physical capabilities to do another 4 years of this job, including a majority of Democrats who do not want him to run in 2024.
And I referenced
Exhibit A.
I referenced earlier that it appeared that he forgot the name of Maui.
Yes.
In one of those sound bites that I saw earlier on Fox. The mental capacity capacity issue is real, and it's noticed not just by us, but about,
foreign countries,
our adversaries.
We've been talking about China slipping our Treasury Secretary the psychedelic mushrooms. It's about respect. You look at how we pulled out of Afghanistan. It's shocking that was an American moment. And there are too many American moments that don't jibe with what we, as proud Americans, feel should be appropriate American moments. We need to stand up strong.
Let's be clear. The Chinese Communist Party would have put that restaurant out of business if they were unaware that they served hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Right.
Can we agree on that?
It's not a random dinner.
This is the CCP. This is the Communist Party officials. So they would put the restaurant out of business if they were served something that they were unaware of.
Yeah.
So, in other words, the CCP knew that there were mushrooms that had hallucinogenics in them. And this is the U.S. Treasury Secretary. Tell me this is not a move to mock the United States.
Yeah, there's
exactly
no
right.
accident
And she goes on CNN, she's cracking up. Oh, yeah, I had hallucinogenics. Yeah, they were delicious.
We look like we're always 10 steps behind and getting outplayed on everything. And it's just another example of that. Man, we need somebody who can take initiative and leadership here. We don't get it from the president. We don't get it from the Treasury Secretary.
We don't
get it anywhere right now.
Well,
we know who the person is that has the initiative, but he's facing 4 indictments.
Yeah, that's true. Look, I think this story is outrageous that Janet Yellen went to China and they served her hallucinogenic mushrooms. I really do. I don't think it's funny. I think it's an absolute mocking of America. And the fact that we're just, treating it so lightly. She's the Treasury Secretary. You said earlier she should have a taster. I agree.
Absolutely.
It's like the president. I mean, Anyway, this actually happened.
And it could have gone sideways. She could have had a reaction to this where suddenly she's in front of cameras talking gibberish. You're like, that's the Treasury Secretary in a foreign land, and I can't understand what she's saying?
Unbelievable.
What's going on?